At Acadiana Pain and Performance, we believe in constant improvement. We take that in all areas of our practice, in our treatment, in our technology, and in our procedures. Whenever we're looking at adding new technologies, we're always trying to make the consideration, is this gonna move the needle to help our patients and clients heal faster, perform better, and maintain an overall level of health? That's the reason that we created the H.E.R.O program. We were seeing a lot of athletes coming in who were having injuries because they weren't recovering from their routine. The H.E.R.O system is done in 3 phases. When we have an athlete come in, we start with a percussion massage. That gets rid of all the knots throughout the muscles and throughout the tissues, gets rid of all of the adhesions and scar tissue, and restores blood flow to even the deepest tissues. We go from that to the cryotherapy that takes you from 180 degrees down to minus 320 degrees. That really reduces inflammation, regulates cell stress and hormones, and helps to restore function to the body. Once we come out of that and our blood vessels are constricted, our body wants to restore blood flow to them, so it hyperdilates those blood vessels. When that's happening, we put our athletes on the PEMF mat. That restores blood flow and oxygen through these now hyperdilated blood vessels and gets oxygen to even the deepest tissue, which our body uses for that repair process. When we integrate these 3 amazing technologies, we really are going through one of the most advanced recovery systems in the world.
So I wanted to try the H.E.R.O program just because putting my body through a lot of aches and pains doing the whole CrossFit training thing and, muscle recovery, not being able to work out because you're too sore. I feel like the H.E.R.O program really helps speed up that recovery time.
The CrossFitters that we see who end up in here, many of them were ending up with injuries due to the fact that they weren't recovering from their previous session. So the reason we really developed the H.E.R.O program was so that we could allow them to recover much, much faster and get back to their routine. Because a CrossFit routine, while it's amazing at causing significant changes in body composition and strength and power, it is a stressful activity. We need to give the body the time to recover and the tools to recover so that they can get back to that routine and accomplish all their goals as fast as they want to. So the H.E.R.O program takes them through those 3 phases of reducing inflammation and then reducing stress, restoring blood flow and oxygen throughout the body, and restoring range of motion and releasing trigger points throughout the muscles that they've been working. So for them in particular, the H.E.R.O program is phenomenal at restoring their activity and optimizing their performance and their output.
The type of results I've gotten off of the H.E.R.O program was fast recovery. My healing process didn't take as long. The soreness from the cryo session, it's like it just takes it out of your body, out of your muscles, and you feel rejuvenated.
It takes the place of going to a massage therapist every week or every month. It stops me from being injured in the sense like it's like checking up on my body constantly. Whereas most of the time you get injured and then you want to go get fixed. This is like a maintenance thing. It's like getting your oil changed constantly. That's honestly how I feel the H.E.R.O program works. The benefits is for the long run, not for when you're hurt. So for athletes or people that are very physical or nonstop, people that aren't athletes, just physical in any situation, standing up a lot or moving around a lot, I think the H.E.R.O program is perfect for them.
In most full body massages, we're getting into the deeper muscles and we are relaxing some of those areas. One of the ways a muscle actually relaxes is by something called the Golgi tendon organ, which is just a fancy way of saying the receptor in the muscle that tells it how tight or loose it needs to be. The research has shown that if we can reset that by causing a quick stretch to it, we can get a bigger relaxation on the muscle. So we use a full body percussion massage that goes from head to toe of all the really important muscles that our daily life causes to tighten up. Most of us sit too much in our jobs, even if we're active. We have cars, we have computers, we have phones, so we tighten up in very predictable locations. So when you come and get a full body percussion massage with us, it's not just working through random muscles. This is all done strategically to release the most important areas of our body. That resets all those muscles. The percussion is so fast that you'll get 1,000 of those in a second, whereas in a massage, even if someone's really, really good, the amount of pressure that they can put and continuously put may only reset that Golgi tendon organ, 10 times. So it really is a dramatic change in what you feel when you come out of it, that your body actually moves better. We have more range of motion now. You have better blood flow to all your muscles. That's something that can keep us all much healthier, much longer, even with much more activity. So it's a really, really great thing to be doing regularly.
I'm training for New York City Marathon in November, and we were discussing how I was having problems as far as recovering from my long runs and interval training, and Chris suggested that I try the H.E.R.O recovery, and so I thought, what the heck, gave it a shot, and the results have been absolutely amazing.
Going through this program regularly, it's understanding that what we're doing as CrossFit is basically we're athletes. It's a sport and not just something that you just go and exercise. So what happens is I've learned, especially at my age, at 62 years old, that I have to take care of my body. And if I'm going to do CrossFit at a highly competitive level, which I do it at, it's essential for me to go to do this kind of therapy on a consistent basis. It keeps my joints from hurting. And I don't have any knee problems. I don't have any shoulder problems. My muscles I feel fine. I get up every morning, I'm energized, I'm ready to go, and that's the way I want to feel. And without that, I know I couldn't do it.
I do a lot of working out, my body gets sore, fatigue, and you have to have something that can refreshen it to make it feel better, to go on the next day and train at the high level that I train at. And the H.E.R.O program definitely benefits me to be able to go out there and train the next day just like I trained the day before.
Maintaining, the most important thing for being a distance runner at my age, because I'm 52, is being able to recover so that I can do these 6 days a week. So my goal now, I'm at 45, 50 miles a week. You can't do that if you do a 16-mile long run on Saturday and it takes you 3 days to recover. It's only 7 days in a week. So you have to be able to recover from these long runs. And when I was younger, you could, do a hard workout and come back the next day and not quite recover. And, we'd say we could bend a little bit and get by, maybe have a bad workout. When you get to this wonderful age of 52, you find out that you no longer bend, you just break. And so you have to be able to recover to get ready for that next workout.
As a professional boxer, I travel a lot, and I've been in several other cryotherapy chambers. And I have to say, Acadiana Pain and Performances is the best. It does heat up, so you can do a session where it heats you up before you get the coldness. And then another thing that I like about it is they have a top piece that covers you. And all the other ones I've been to, they do not have a top piece that covers you. So therefore, it keeps the hydrogen inside of the chamber. And therefore your shoulders get a good freeze to it itself for recovery. That's one thing I enjoy, because as a professional boxer, my shoulders give me problems, and in them other cryo chambers, it only really gives good effects to the abdominal level and lower.
Cryotherapy that we use is something called the CryoSense cryo chamber. The reason that we did that is because it does contrast heat and cool. So we'll take someone's body from 180 degrees of heat down to minus 320 degrees in a matter of seconds. The nice thing about that is twofold. One is that heat opens up all of our blood vessels, so it brings the blood to the surface. When you want to cool your blood down, we need to get that out to the surface of your skin to get the most benefit out of it. The CryoSense chamber is the only one in the country that can do that. So whenever we're trying to get the biggest benefit in the shortest amount of time, we need to cool the body's core temperature at least 4 degrees to get the most benefit out of a cryotherapy session. So in these chambers you get in, we open up that superficial blood flow at 180 degrees for 30 seconds to a minute. Then we drop you down to minus 300 degrees. That causes a big boost in something called norepinephrine. Norepinephrine is the big controller of a lot of hormones, but in particular, it controls a lot of inflammatory hormones and inflammatory markers. So if we can get rid of those, we reduce even systemic inflammation. So using that contrast boosts norepinephrine a significant amount versus just doing the cold therapy alone. The contrast is really important in comfort as well. We have a lot of older people who getting inside of an ice bath is just not gonna be an option for them. We get in an ice bath, our muscles tighten up in an ice bath, also not good for performance enhancement. So getting into the contrast cryo chamber where the cold is a little bit drier cold, so it doesn't cause the muscle contractions that you would get in an ice bath. And if you incorporate both of those, you're gonna see significant improvements in inflammation, in recovery, in reducing cellular stress as well. Norepinephrine plays a role in a lot of those things. So doing the contrast is just so much faster to get all of those in 3 minutes versus most of the studies say you need to be in a ice bath for 15 plus minutes. So I'll take 3 minutes if I can get it.
And normally, when you go to a cryo, that's all you're doing. You just get in the cryo for 3 minutes at a maximum, and then that's pretty much it. The best therapy is basically to go into a cold plunge, get into a hot tub, go into a cold plunge, you go into a hot tub, and then finish back with a cold plunge. Well, you're doing the same, but that's probably half hour of your time just doing that, while in the cryo, where it produces heat. You go in there, it cools you off, warms you back up, and then cools you off, and then warms you back up, and then cools you off again, which is the same thing, except the cryo, the cold is a lot colder than a normal cold plunge, where it's only maybe 50-something degrees. So again, time consuming, a lot less time, more time efficient, should I say, and then also I love what it does for my body, especially for recovery.
For me, the results speak in the numbers. I mean, it's there. I'm looking at the pace that I can run now, and I can look at my training schedule from last year. 16-mile run, I was averaging like almost 9-minute mile pace. Now I do 8:08, and I don't even really feel like I'm pushing myself. So yeah, the results are obvious. It's in the numbers. You can't dispute it.